Not so many albums of Playboi Carti. Chronic Liar. Let's get into it.
Carti has one of the largest catalogs when it comes to unreleased music. Despite only having 3 albums, many fans often say that various versions of his albums
Having how many albums? Alright.
Playboi Carti has one of the largest catalogs when it comes to unreleased music. Despite only having 3 albums, many fans often say that various versions of his albums would have changed the world. But why are people saying that? I'm Murdock, and this is the Not So Many Albums of Playboi Carti. Before Die Lit came out, Carti was already known as the guy who didn't drop music. Carti started teasing the project all the way back in 2016. And what's a better way to roll it out than make a song with the ASAP Mob? Now, there was one song that really propelled Carti into the mainstream during 2016, and what drove fans to beg Carti to release a project, which was Broke Boy.
Might just go icy Marcus, might just go cop me some squares.
And due to his online buzz and attention, Carti started meeting a lot of people in the industry, most notably K Supreme. And K Supreme showed Carti a beat produced by Pierre Bourne. Now, in 2017, Carti was prepping up to release his debut project, self-titled. The thing was, fans kept questioning Carti if he was going to drop it, and he couldn't because he had
somewhere on a stretch of road in a town you never heard of, there's a Chevy truck, and the person who drives it.
Producer problems.
Yo, Carti did your beat. I gave him the beat.
It's always some sort of problem, bro. The sample clearances, producer problems. It's always something, bro. I can't.
It's like, I got mad. I was like, what the fuck?
The good thing was the album eventually would come out. And within self-titled, Carti would drop various songs. The biggest one probably being the song that you know. There were also other tracks like Location with Levin Kali, Choppa with A$AP Rocky, and Woke Up Like This with Uzi. Self-titled debuted at number 12 on the US Billboard 200 and number 7 on the US Top R&B Hip-Hop Albums chart. Now this is really big since hip-hop was the most consumed genre in the United States. Now what does every artist who starts charting do? They start working on an album. Carti teased that during December, having a caption saying, album mode. And you know who was going to produce most of it? Pierre Bourne. Carti was always inspired by rockstar aesthetics and punk music. You'd often see Carti wearing punk band tees, and you'd probably see him sometimes listening to punk music. It was actually a pretty big theme within the rollout of 1629, with
1629, bro. What could have been? You know how you know how fire 1629 would have been, bro. That generational album, bro. Would have been generational.
Carti posting Dave Vanyan and Captain Sensible of The Damned during their rollout. And Carti was gonna double down on this aesthetic so much on his debut project. But there was a bit of a problem. It's a problem that Carti was gonna face all throughout his career.
Oh, let me get this picture back up here.
It's a bit of a problem. It's a problem that Carti was.
Die Lit, best Carti album. No cap. Can't lie, best Carti album right here. Die Lit. Look, it's hard to rank the Carti albums though, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes for me it's this or Whole Lotta Red. I mean, even music sometimes. I mean, nah, not really anymore. I mean, when it came out, I was listening to it a lot, but I think clear number 1 and 2. Die Lit and Whole Lotta Red though.
Was gonna face all throughout his career. Leaked music. But from that point, it wasn't too bad. Sure, Die Lit had a few leaks before it dropped, but it wasn't to the point where the entire rollout would be damaged if it did, unlike today. Carti on the 11th of May would drop a classic, going down as one of the most iconic trap albums of all time. The album will be introduced by an electronic beat produced by Art Dealer. But if you thought the album was just gonna sound like that, track 2 was actually gonna have a bit of a mellow vibe, sampling the R&B group Jodeci.
Best Carti song, my favorite Carti song of all time. R.I.P.
Punk trap was the prominent theme behind Die Lit and its tour. And another song that would accompany that one was R.I.P. too. R.I.P. Fredo. And another song from Die Lit that would shape weddings, gatherings, And a song that's perfect for when you're up is Shoota with Lil Uzi Vert, the last official collaboration between 1629 for the next 7 years. But one thing that fans started to notice was that Carti was having a higher pitch in his voice. And I'll give you a perfect example in Flatbed Freestyle.
Baby voice Carti fire.
With these new experimental beats and experimental flows, Carti would go number 3 on the Billboard Hot 200. Dial It wasn't the most well-received album when it came out. Fans today treat it as trap history. To follow up with the success of this project, Carti got right back in the studio, making Dial It Deluxe. And one of these songs from those sessions would eventually be teased and previewed on the ASAP Mob's social media. Directed by Hidgy World, Carti's stomach was hurting. This was the start of the era that was gonna change Carti's life forever and would leave fans waiting for almost 1,000 days. And Carti kind of entertained it by playing the leaked songs live, which would become a gigantic issue for Carti for the rest of his career. But here's the thing, Carti stopped dropping singles, but he was still in the studio, having songs recorded from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. And one of those sessions was 8/9/18, a day that would go down in myth-like status for Carti fans. And that's because songs like Goku, Skeleton, and Butterfly Doors were recorded during this time. Music-wise, Carti still wasn't dropping anything. The only thing we got were snippets that he performed live, because it was in November where Carti was gonna have the Neon Tour. The best glimpse that you got was the energy of the shows, with a lot of blog writers and fans saying they were reminiscent of punk rock shows. You could even see it in the merch. Then the year would pass. Ian Connor made a tweet about Whole Lotta Red being the best album of 2019. And the momentum for the album was stronger than ever. But Carti would then change his style completely during Off-White's Fall/Winter 2019 show, Public Television, dyeing his hair blonde. And who was the creative director of Off-White? None other than Virgil Abloh, who would also be the creative director of Whole Lotta Red. Carti had a very strong team going into the year, despite the debuffs that the leaks brought to camp. Pierre on the beats, Gunner with the shots, and Ian with the fits. But Carti would also start expanding his team, getting people like Richie South to make beats and videos coming from Joy Division. But songs kept leaking and coming out. And the most notable...
Nope. My Microsoft Edge, bro. We're not doing this. Slow down.
Narcissist being an...
How do we skip this much?
The year.
Actually, yeah. Game with a fucking ad, bro. Like, I actually can't, man.
Despite the debuffs that the leaks brought to camp. Then Virgil Abloh, who would also be the creative director of Whole Lotta Red. Carti had a very strong team going into the year, despite the debuffs that the leaks brought to camp. Pierre on the beats, Gunner with the shots, and Ian with the fits. But Carti would also start expanding his team, getting people like Richie South to make beats and videos coming from Joy Division. But songs kept leaking and coming out. And the most notable one was a snippet that got previewed in March of 2019, which led Carti fans to remaster the track, and it quickly became one of the most popular songs in the world. Fans called it Kid Cudi. Carti's leaks from Whole Lotta Red V1 were quickly becoming the most talked about phenomenon within hip-hop's underground. And if you were old enough during 2019, you probably experienced hearing Carti leaks within your classroom or scrolling through your feed. And his baby voice was slowly becoming one of the most popular things that hip-hop was talking about. Carti's verse on Earthquake with Tyler the Creator had fans calling Carti's baby voice Artanese. Then Carti announced something in July.
Playing fucking Pissy Pamper in the background.
Saying the album was coming in the next 60 days. Though it was also in 2019 where Carti's style started changing, and the sound was changing a little bit too. Carti started experimenting with a darker sound.
Hey, I got those sunglasses, chat. Yo, I got them sunglasses. Ow. Got him. You know, they only catch, they're may or may not be $7, but it's chill. I mean, because they look real, so that's all that matters. At the end of the day, they look cool too. So not on me, but of course, but Alright, so.
and style, and was supposedly the intro track to Whole Lotta Red.
Whole lot of red. One shot to the head. Nigga, you dead.
And if you notice, Carti started getting heavy into this vampire persona, often wearing brands like Number 9 and Raf Simons. But there was this one brand that Carti really loved and wore to almost all of his live shows.
Rick Owens. Is it Rick Owens?
At the latter half of 2019, Carti started wearing Rick Owens, entering an era that would change the sound and aesthetic of Whole Lotta Red forever. And thankfully, you wouldn't hear too much of it yet. The span of these 4 months from October to January would be critical in the development of fashion within the 2020s, as Carti had a style that countless underground rappers and listeners
baggy jeans and ATFs
would copy. Skinny jeans, Rick Owens glasses, and most especially, the Rick Owens Ramones. These are all things that you see on rappers like Osama Sun and Che today. Whole Lotta Red V2. And within this time frame, Carti got in the studio with Pierre Bourne, recording this legendary song. And Che today. Whole Lotta Red V2. And within this time frame, Carti got in the studio with Pierre Bourne, recording this legendary song. Carti had a new voice.
I hate that song. Nope, I don't hate it. I don't like it that much. I don't. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I'm iffy on that one.
It was an even higher pitch, and the beats, they were different. It was darker, more mysterious, and was a vibe reminiscent of vampires, which led to the iconic post wearing full Rick Owens. Vampire Weekend Red.com. As 2020 rolled around, the world started shutting down, and this was the perfect cover for Carti. There would be several previews surrounding V2, and the only way that fans survived was replaying that snippet or remastering it and extending it. Thankfully, AI didn't exist yet, so there wouldn't be slop surrounding Carti's music. And finally, after almost 2 years of waiting, Carti dropped a picture of him around a blue background the 14th of April, with fans speculating if this was the album cover for Whole Lotta Red, and if Red was coming out. The 14th was a Tuesday, so there was no song. But on the 17th, to everyone's surprise, Carti dropped a single. Unfortunately, popular reception would have this song
That's the definition of mumble. Yeah, you just don't get it. No Life Shack don't get it, bro.
hated and criticized, with No Life Shack even calling it the definition of mumble. But Carti stayed in the studio, recording angelic music. And just a few days later, despite the hate, Carti and Drake dropped Pain 1993. Pain being an homage to Ian Connor's motto.
This song's fire. Not gonna lie. And if you don't like Carti's verse, you're a chud. I mean, that's really you're just a chud.
Born from Pain 1993. And Carti used his classic V2 voice on it. With the mainstream openly hating this verse because of how experimental his flow was and how high his vocal inflections were. And this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Whole Lotta Red V2 was scrapped, and the grails that we got from it never got to the public eye. We only have 2 officially. Born from Pain 1993. And Carti used his classic V2 voice on it. With the mainstream openly hating this verse because of how experimental his flow was and how high his vocal inflections were. And this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
I guess I can understand why people don't like that verse, but I like it though, personally. Turn my ringer off my phone.
Whole Lotta Red V2 was scrapped, and the grails that we got from it never got to the public eye. We only have 2 officially released songs from this era, but some would make their way to the officially released version of Whole Lotta Red, though some fans dug stuff up, with one song being the grail to end all grails. You Can Get It or Trying to Get Down, filmed by Joy Division.
Bro, trying to get down so far.
Some music videos from this era would survive though, such as 2.6 and Katia featuring Lil Uzi.
Oh my god.
But after this era,
I just reacted to Whole Lotta Red V2 the other day for the first time, and Carti are best one on there.
Carti would go into another one, some sort of transitionary period between V2 and the officially released version of Whole Lotta Red, which fans call V3. In July of 2020, Carti would dye his hair red. Now, here's the dilemma. Within Whole Lotta Red V3, people would think that this was the officially released version, but there's also a notion that V3 was a completely separate
What even
entity.
is V3? I don't even know what the hell. I thought that was just release version of Whole Lotta Red. Wait, Carti made 5 versions. Bro, what? Okay, whatever.
Different sound. Think of it like pre-Kanye and post-Pain 1993. It's a little complicated, I know. Now, V3 still had songs from Richie and Pierre, but there's not enough information about V3 to definitely pinpoint what it is. And if you do have information, please share it in the comments. Carti would post a bunch of cryptic photos, and one of them ended up being a post on the 23rd. Album turned in. Carti allegedly finished the album in a span of a few weeks, recording a whole new version of Whole Lotta Red, executively produced by Kanye West. Then the iconic snippet with Kanye West.
The not so many albums of Playboi Carti, pretty much, you know, all the times bro's lied about dropping.
Carti was posting an insane amount. And what better way to do it again than to preview a snippet produced by Art Dealer. Carti was full on album mode. And what's even better than that is that none of these songs from the new version of Red was leaking. This was then followed up by a song. And most of the information that we got during this era was from DJ Academics. It seemed to be a whole...
I actually can't with Academics, bro. This dude, bro. Academics is kind of a chud. Kind of a lard ass. Just kidding. I like Academics. His information's it's questionable. You know,
whole new sound. Carti was also pushing the boundaries with his Rick Owens fits, hanging around in Kanye's estate, and fully embracing the vampire persona. There was even a supposed number of features on Whole Lotta Red that didn't make the cut. Though Kid Cudi was gonna be on the album, even being on Kid Cudi. And then the 22nd came. Whole Lotta Red was officially announced with an album cover paying homage to Slash magazine. Mayday issue 1225. No more lies, no more missed dates. And this entirely new version of Whole Lotta Red was gonna change the world forever.
That's fun.
The album was gonna drop on Christmas Day. And when the clock hit 12 that night, the world was introduced to a... Carti brought something completely different to hip hop. It didn't sound like anything in the industry.
Too bad he couldn't drop, you know, the deluxe yesterday. It's wait, was that yesterday? Yeah. Too bad.
At all.
What a shame.
It sounded like music that you would go absolutely feral to. And that was what the first song of Whole Lotta Red was. It was track 3 that really changed everything. The song that shaped the careers of countless rappers. Carti's freestyle, that in my opinion, is the best song ever made. Stop Breathing.
Not ridiculous to say that.
But this new version of Whole Lotta Red was a version that focused on Carti's experimentation with electronic instrumentals. But Whole Lotta Red in its release date would go down as one...
Yeah, trash. Whole lot of skips. Wow. Yeah, no one liked this shit, bro, when it came out.
One of the most hated...
Except Bronny James. Yo, Bronny James. Yo, wait, hold on. I need to find this, actually.
I got some bad shit. I got some bad shit. I got some bad shit. I hit from the back. I'm beating it up. I'm beating it up. I'm beating it up. I'm all over the world. Rasta me.
Bronny James, OG tapped in the Whole Lotta Red from day one, bro.
Albums ever. People didn't like the new sound, electronic beats, and the vampire persona. Everyone was used to what conventional trap brought. Despite the hate though, Carti had a successful release party, and the underground loved the album. And after Whole Lotta Red dropped, Carti promised us a deluxe, which leads us to the unreleased songs of Whole Lotta.
And to this day, I have not gotten this shit, bro. Can't.
Lotta Red Deluxe.
Cannot, bro.
Whole Lotta Red in its entirety was an album that was meant to be performed live, and Carti worked with Filthy and the others in making songs perfect for that, one of which was produced by Filthy and Lucrative on Medusa. Carti also had groovier songs that were throwaways from the deluxe, like Rover
Bring your friends, yo.
I've heard this one.
Bring your friends, yo.
and songs from Whole Lotta Red V1 and Whole Lotta Red V2 were also rumored to be on the deluxe. Carti then dropped the post, "Let's drop this new album, We Not Done," followed by "I Wanna Bleach More White to My Hair. I Wanna Drop Like Right Now." Unfortunately, Whole Lotta
Like, then do it, bro. Like, I actually don't get it. I want to, like, he's saying I want to drop this and that. Like, then do it, bro. Like, and he just doesn't.
Red Deluxe never came out. Fans thought he was going into a whole new era when he bleached his hair, called Molly World. But instead, Carti would
Molly
start
World, I
working with
remember that
Kanye West on his project Donda. And then Carti would post a caption, "Narcissist, 9/13/21." The post featuring Carti layered in Balenciaga and Rick Owens with a sewing machine, hinting at a new clothing brand. But what fans really speculated on was Narcissist being an album, followed up with a tour and a merch line. Carti posted a few
This one
more
is
times with even more fit
9/13.
pics. And there were even previews of the beats of Narcissist by KP. The producers rumored to work on Narcissist were KP Beats, Filthy, Gabe, and the Dutch duo. But here's the thing, there weren't any vocal snippets or actual songs coming from the Narcissist era. 9/13/21 rolled around. It was Carti's 26th birthday, but there was nothing other than a fake
9/13
website
incident.
with a helmet that charged $5,000.
What is-
Unfortunately, all we got was a fake website with
A fake website. I didn't even know this. A fake fucking website, bro.
the helmet
Wow.
that charged $5,000. Unfortunately, all we got was Carti faking out. On the 15th of September, Carti posted saying that the
The website is hacked. The ref holders never appears any. Okay, yeah.
website was hacked, leading fans who ordered the merch to lose money. But on the 16th, Carti posted a post saying, "Forget all sample clearances. Drop Narcissist." And it did drop in the form of the Narcissist tour. Carti incorporating the
At least he did
rockstar
something.
aesthetic once again, alongside his artists Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely, with another opener being Rico Nasty. That tour was insane. But music-wise, there wasn't anything new from Narcissist other than a few surface songs. 24 songs produced by Vori was rumored to be a part of this project, and then
24 songs ever dropped on God I'd Cry.
unreleased tracks like 2 Out, which was the first variant of Carti's deep voice. Carti also had a more melodic sound, like the song Sights with A$AP Rocky. And then Carti would do an interview with XXL. Carti played a new song for the interviewer called Wicked. It had a deeper tonality, wherein Vanessa Sadin asked him what
Wicked's
the
so
name of this
fire.
project was going to be. And he told her
Yeah.
it was just music, leading us to the next era, Music V1. In 2022, Carti was continuing his deep voice era.
Ew, Burberry, bro. Burberry is one zesty fuck.
And one of the only songs we heard from it was on Kanye West's Donda 2, Mr. Miyagi, which fans like to call the underwater deep voice. It's been about a year since Whole Lotta Red dropped, and the Narcissist era was discontinued. But Carti was going to an entirely new phase of life. That was the rollout of I Am Music. Here's the problem though. Even though Carti was touring
is peak
and was
Carti
all
right
over the
here, bro.
world, there was no new music coming
This is that pop out Carti, bro. This is peak Carti, bro.
out. But Carti was in the studio, and there would be a video recorded of Carti there with Filthy, Young Good, Joy Division, and Matthew Williams, with Carti using a deep voice on the song All Red. But there was
I get excited about the Subaru Share the Love event because
Fuck
Subaru
yeah,
retailers nationwide are giving back.
Giving back
Give me one
makes
more
us
ad to
was another problem. He didn't speak of a new album coming for the rest of 2020.
Yo, Doctor Brush is definitely made with Pop Out, wasn't it? Yeah, it was that cave era music, dude. Honestly, bro, he needs to drop like that cave era type music. Like, he needs to drop a whole album of that, dude. That'd be legendary.
2 until a post featuring the actual Narcissist merch drop having a death metal font. And guess who one of the models was? Blade of Drain Gang and Young Lean of Sad Boys. Music was about to be a special album. Keep in mind that Carti's Instagram has been dormant since Whole Lotta Red, but Carti would come back posting a story of an audio file, followed by another post the next day of the Balenciaga model, Betsy Johnson, the day right before Whole Lotta Red's 2nd anniversary, and a post on Twitter from Carti saying, "Love all my supporters, it's time." Then,
It's time. Yeah. I can't, bro.
Carti dropped music. Well, his fans did, leaking most of Whole Lotta Red V4 on the 26th. Though Carti didn't drop anything, he became
V4?
quiet once again, not dropping any tweets, posts, or even popping out in public until March as the headliner of Rolling Loud California. Which went down as the most viewed Rolling Loud of all time. Carti was gonna go full industrial for this album and was even wearing a death metal shirt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This shit right here, bro. Need an album of this, bro. I need this. Like Pop Out, bro. Great. I love that song.
Brave. In the day after Wireless, Carti posted a promotional video alongside his new stylist, Sex is Death, the Antagonist tour, which was gonna span from Denver to Copenhagen. And if you notice,
OG Antagonist
Carti's in Europe
tour.
in that video, recording a good portion of music in a cave in Paris. And there was also another music video recorded with a completely left field sound, reminiscent of funk. Meet Yo Maker.
I'm on fire, what?
Yo, funk's the worst music of all time. I swear to God.
She wanna sue me.
But the tour didn't
Meet Your Maker's
continue.
not bad, though.
Playboi Carti postponed the tour, and as compensation, fans would drop the lead single to music, Killers.
I been minding my business, yeah, could nigga be lying. Partner got a cool titties on no back.
Then Carti actually locked in. In November, there were a bunch of photos that were
Ah,
leaked
my neck.
of Carti in a
Oh.
Rick Owens Grinch outfit, starting the rollout of I Am Music.
I just be styling this hard sleep.
See ya.
She never made it hard for me.
And another one in the song 2024 produced by Kanye West.
Yeah, yeah.
You came back and you
fell.
The rollout was marked with
Can't be
Black
my
Kane
face over
screaming
there.
at the top of his lungs, saying that Carti was dropping.
2024 is the best one out of all these music singles. It's also like, you know, top 10 on the album too.
And
debatable.
the next one,
Not
the
debatable.
most sinister song of the rollout.
All you ever do is copy, all you ever do is like, what you talking about? If you really got a problem with your head on that problem, yeah, about it.
And another one with Travis Scott, Backrooms.
If you know what I know, how'd you hope? Big cups, I'm sipping flamingo.
But instead of Carti going fully into this dark industrial aesthetic, Carti was gonna switch it up and go normal in a Smack DVD-esque video, dressing in a 2000s-like style. But Carti then asserts that he's not in a rock star,
My face, I'm an emo, thug in my face. 0, 0, 0, 0.
and then a snippet sampling Space Ghost Perp's F. Taylor Gang. Finally, one last
When it
song
was
from the
Cobra.
run, Ketamine.
That's in my body, I'm the coolest. Trampoline jump for a cougar. Jump out the jungle, go hit it.
But again, silence from Carti. Until once again, Carti came back with an entirely new style. A backwards Allen Iverson jersey, switching the industrial aesthetic up for something more normal, which fans all over the world would go and copy. And after this, the lead single to music would come out, a song that we've heard countless times,
All Red's so
but
fire.
would get on all streaming services, All Red. With Carti trying to celebrate his birthday, but due to the mass amount of fans, this show would be canceled. Carti would also start skipping shows, like in Rolling Loud Thailand.
There was no beat drop on the song.
But
It's embarrassing.
to compensate again, he would perform I Am Music in Miami.
This is my favorite performance of his. I'm not gonna lie.
Unfortunately, 2024 passed and it
Oh, I'm hearing ghosts.
wasn't 2024 music. What did happen was I Am Fitpick, with the world demanding that Carti drop.
Yeah.
The thing was,
lot of
the
Fitpicks.
Fitpick era was a source of information for all Carti fans. And it
Oh,
gave us
God.
a glimpse
Every time he posts a fit pic, bro, I get excited. I don't even care. He said anything or not, bro.
of what I Am Music was going to be. It was a style
The
reminiscent of
anticipation.
2000s hip hop. I Am Music is a direct homage to Lil Wayne. And then the month of March came, giving us the exact drop date of music, alongside the feature list, with artists like Travis Scott,
this day was
Uzi,
crazy,
and
bro.
Future being included alongside a hidden
Like, this shit was, I mean, absolutely insane.
feature who ended up being Kendrick Lamar. And on the 14th of March, after several delays, Carti dropped 30
Great album.
tracks,
Great album.
the official
Don't care
release
nonsense.
of I Am Music.
Scammers demand payment with gift cards.
It was-
I will never buy YouTube Premium.
It wasn't just full of hard songs though. Carti had chiller tracks like in the song Fine Shit. We'd also get Carti and Skepta again on a sinister beat produced by Cardo Got Wings.
Yo, the Fine Shit music video. Oh, that shit had me bricked up, bro. I'm not gonna lie at all. I mean, yo, when I first saw that shit, I was full brick.
And Toxic.
I need €1 million. I need €1 million.
Then the song sampling SGP's F. Taylor Gang, Crank. Carti wasn't done, having music videos for the album in like Weezy. I Am Music then charted at number 1, having all 30 songs on the Billboard charts, selling 300,000 copies. Carti then performed in an almost 2-hour set in Rolling Loud, California, debuting Music. But fans wanted more, and this version of Carti was more receptive to it, dropping I Am Music, Sorry for the Wait, with songs that we've already heard before. But a new one came in a classic, F on My DJ. Afterwards, Carti teased a new album, which is rumored to have a sound that goes back into Carti's
31
roots,
GK blow.
and Carti was entering the Baby Boy era. The known information we have about Baby Boy are the snippets that Carti plays during his after parties.
Swamp
with songs like Free 31 GK Blow. Carti would also have Antagonist 2.0, but Baby Boy songs would only be played sparingly during the show's after parties. Though Carti would perform something live, and it was a new sound with 2 Hollis. So far, Baby Boy looks like it's gonna have a mix of the old I Am Music sound and the 2 Hollis-like sound that he's been dabbling in with Filthy. So far, Carti's gonna perform in Fortnite, have a skin, and a live event. And I don't know if he's gonna have new music come out for it, but what I do know is that he doesn't really
He's not.
have a lot of albums.
Does not have a lot of albums. Alright. Fire video, Murdock. Give that a little like.